Dr. Mel, and this is Dr. Mel's message. Today I have a fabulous author with me and a book that is so intriguing. I cannot wait for y'all to get to know it. But first, let me introduce the author and her book. We have today with us Iliana Morales and her book, Between Heaven and Hell. Welcome, my dear. How are you?
Fine, and you?
I am doing great. I cannot wait for my viewership to get to know you and your book because it's just really, really fascinating. I just love it. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about your book, Between Heaven and Hell. What is it about? How'd you come up with this idea?
Well, the idea has been rolling and strolling around my head. Meanwhile, I've been driving since I'm a truck driver. And on the drives, you have many hours driving. And I have encountered throughout my life so many visions, so many dreams, things that some of my children, well, both of my children, they have shared some of my experiences. And these are things that it's like a bottle that I wants to be burst. So so many things that I have shared that people get excited for one little thing, and I'm like, wow, they have encountered this experience with God, and it's just one. How much more that how many experiences I have encountered, and God had shown me after He put me to read the whole Bible several times. He has shown me so many treasures in it. How can I be a light put away? So I wanted to put it in a book. But because so many people when you talk about Christianity, the first thing they put into your mind, oh, you're talking about a sermon. So I said, well, how about a story? Isn't that the way Jesus used to do it? He used to make parables, and in the parables was a story and was a teaching in it. So I basically wrote a large parable, a novel. And as the way that Jesus puts fictitious persons, which they're not, he took it as an example, in some occasions. So I put a fictional person as Mia, and she symbolized the church, a symbolic meaning, and the perfect church of God, which is in the Bible. There's two perfect church, the one that is not of God and the one that's of God. So she is a symbolic meaning of the Church of God. And but as we know, there's the firstborn of Adam and Eve and it was Cain and Abel, and Mia did not exist. But obviously, and there's no mention of any child before sin, but that's what it makes a fiction. So but through her, is the tool that I use to narrate this story. Visions that I have seen from heaven, how beautiful is heaven, because as a child, I have been asking so many questions to Jesus, so many curiosities of how is heaven? How is it that we cannot see angels? How is it that, what was before the flood? What was so great that you had to destroy the world? And so he, little by little throughout my life, now I'm 50 years old, and throughout my life, I have encountered, how can I say, God has shown me so many things. So I decided to put it in a story that it would be, how can I say, not a lecture, but more entertaining to hear, to read. The same way Jesus brought messages in the parables, there's messages there to be taken, and as you wish.
All right, well, right now I want to show everyone a cover reveal trailer to introduce them to your book. So sit tight. Hi, I'm Dr. Mel, and this is Dr. Mel's message. Today I have a fabulous author with me and a book that is so intriguing. I cannot wait for y'all to get to know it. But first, let me introduce the author and her book. We have today with us Iliana Morales and her book, Between Heaven and Hell. So that's the cover reveal. And one thing I love about your cover is the disposition between the the cover itself with the beautiful blues and the skies, and then at the bottom representing hell, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you come up with this cover?
I went through different covers. At the end, I wanted to put the character of Mia and with one of the two Satan in one side and Sunstone on the other. Then I came up with the galaxy, and then like finally I'm like, after praying to God, like, God, you know, I've been more than a month with this cover and I don't know what to do. So I was going through pictures in different websites, and finally when I download one, I realized, not realizing, and that one, the girl was downloaded. And I was like, Jesus, I did not download that one. And I'm like, and it's like, take it. So I took the picture, and after I downloaded and got the rights and everything, and which it was a surprise for me because I don't remember downloading it. So the thing is, like, I took the picture and I said, okay, I have the picture. What do I do with it? And then after reading it, I'm like, okay. Then I saw, so isn't Satan obsessed with the Church of God? That he, and she's the obsession. So put him in two colors, put him in the bottom, like hell. So she's in heaven, and she's the one who he's obsessed with. So that makes it like he's, as you see in the bottom, like he's trying to get her. And she is large, not because she is large or big, it's because God is with her. And that's what makes her big, because he is the one who makes us big, because with him, everything is possible. So she's the one that is like there and looking, her eyes is sturdy looking, and because she's focused on God. She's like, I'm with you.
All right, let's talk about a little bit about who Mia Morningstar, quote, of Salem is. There's a history behind this, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, what is that little bit of history for us?
Well, Mia, it's interesting. Mia, believe, means Miriam. It's the sister of, it's a short way to say Miriam. It's the sister of Moses, and it means beloved.
Okay.
Morning star is, Jesus is the morning star. And even though Satan wants to take that title, as many other titles of God, Jesus is the morning star. So it's like having the last name of your parents. So she's his grandfather. So it's morning star. So Mia, it's funny because when I was a little kid, demons used to call me beloved. Oh, you're the beloved of Jesus. So I put it, they looked at me like, like not, like kind of disgust, or like, different ways as demons do look. So they used to call me princess or beloved. So I put that because like it reminded me of how they used to call me. But nevertheless, that's how we are. We are the beloved of God, all of us. So we're the precious jewels of God. So yes, that's why I say we're the beloved church of God. So I put beloved, Mia.
I understand all that. So is this book based off of fact, or is this book fiction?
The character of Mia is fiction. The story of Mia is, as it goes, is fiction. The part of the Bible that it goes with the Bible, the story as the trail as it goes, Noah and Methuselah were there helping. Things that are facts that Satan's deceiving and all that, that's true. How heaven shows, I have seen that in visions and dreams. I tried to translate it as much as I could because heaven is a way complex it's very complex to explain it, since it's part physical as we see here and part is spiritual. It has a different, as Paul said, each one has different, the animals has their own glory, the humans have, their body has their own glory, and the spiritual body has their own glory too. So God made them in different ways. But the angels, depends on what rank are they, how old they are, the ranks they are. They have different abilities as well. Some can appear and in front of you, and they will look like you and me. With their full body, you can touch them. Like I know, it's like I have one of the angels that I have met many times in my past, and the last time I met him was like 6 years ago. I saw him. That was the last time I saw him. And because I told him, next time I'm gonna see you, I will stop and tell you I know who you are. Because every time I have seen him many times when I was a child, but I just saw that face and say, like, I know that face. Finally, when the last time one time I interact with him, because I have never seen an ugly angel. So I went to him and I said I was going to say hi. I said, hi. And he goes, didn't say a word and just kept on walking. And I was like, then I didn't saw him later. But the last time I saw him, then I saw him, like, oh, I remember that face. And when I was going to talk to him, he disappeared. And I was like, now I knew who you are. He was an angel. All these times that I've seen him and I interacted, I didn't know it was an angel till that moment that finally he disappeared.
All right, I have to take this opportunity. First of all, when you're saying that you see angels, you're actually seeing them. So you have some sort of innate, not ESP, but abilities that most
Yes.
people don't have. And you also have premonitions. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes, I have had premonitions. Like when we bought this house, and I asked God will we, because this house is a flooding area, and I asked God, will this house flood in the time that we are here? And it was told to me, yes, it will flood. The same way that in 2011, I said yes. And so I knew it was going to flood. And when it came to flood, I asked God, it will take time to come back, to try to come back to the house. And then they were saying that it's going to flood again. And I asked God, will it flood again? He said 2 times.
Wow.
Yes, it did flood. After it went down, it came back, and it told me I had to leave. And then when I this third time it came back, I asked God, will it flood again to that? No, until the bricks. And exactly, just until the bricks, it went up.
All right.
Yes, he tells me a lot. And he tells me because of him, if anything good in me, it's because of him. Yes, he has shown me and guided me.
Let's talk a little bit about, I'm really I'm curious myself because, and I don't think I've ever publicly said this on any interview before, but I had a near-death experience where I really thought, and I still believe, that I came face to face with Jesus Christ and a golden ewe. So I've kind of seen that brightness. But what does heaven look like to you when you see it?
A lot of things. One, obviously, I never seen the Father. We cannot see him until we are in heaven because we're sinful. But heaven to me it's beautiful. It's a huge kingdom, and people think that it's just doing harps and which the cartoons put. No, you have a normal life. You do have like they say, oh, schools. Yeah, you learn. It's like there are how can I say, teachers, masters that teaches you. You have, depends how you want to increase your abilities. God, there's many other planets, but this planet, because of sin, is in its own galaxy because of sin. And we say like, oh, but there are more worlds. Yeah, but they are separate from this world because this world fell. And the other worlds have not fallen. So God protect them from Satan. He doesn't want no more. It states very clear in Job that Lucifer went in one of the meetings. So in that time, Lucifer had a permission to come into heaven after it took the rights from Adam. So now, after Jesus died, Jesus says very clear that the kingdom is taken by force. So because then Michael, which is Jesus, and John, it states, there's just one, if you look on the Bible, there's just one archangel in the whole Bible, which is Michael. And it states very clear that he will resurrect at the end when he comes. So who is the one who resurrects? Any angel can resurrect, or God can resurrect. God is the one who has the power to resurrect. So he will resurrect the ones in him.
Well, I tell you, you have another book right here just talking about the angels and who they are and everything that you've encountered. I mean, you know, I'm talking about nonfiction book here. Your story is incredible, number one. The book is very fascinating as well. And I cannot recommend enough to my readership that they buy Between Heaven and Hell. This book is incredible. And when she bases some of her descriptions and things that are inside the book, I'm beginning now to realize they came from your own visions. Is that accurate to say, maybe?
Which book are you talking about?
I'm talking about Between Heaven and Hell.
Oh, they come from my visions.
That's what I am
yes.
accurate in this.
Yes.
So the descriptions that you actually have written about in this quote fiction book is from your own visions.
Yes.
Incredible. Again, folks, this is one interesting book. It's called Between Heaven and Hell, a biography of Mia Morningstar of Salem. And it is written by Iliana Morales and not Ilana, Ileana. No, Ileana. There we go. I got it for you, baby. Ileana, I got you. And I just highly recommend everybody grab a hold of this book and hold on for a ride, because you're in for a real treat with this debut novel from this particular author. I cannot say thank you enough for coming on Dr. Mel's Message. You are phenomenal. I can't wait to get my autographed copy of this book and build a fire and sit under my, what I call my fluffy blanket, and just sit there and really take it all in. So again, thank you. And you are just a delight. And I cannot wait to see the future, what it holds for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me here too.
I
appreciate it.
No problem. Again, the book is called Between Heaven and Hell, and it is very worth the reading. I'm Dr. Mel, and I'm out. Hi, I'm Dr. Mel, and this is Dr. Mel's Message. Today I have a fabulous author with me and a book that is so intriguing. I cannot wait for y'all to get to know it. But first, let me introduce the author and her book. We have today with us Iliana Morales and her book, Between Heaven and Hell.